Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone. My name is Robert Blakely, better known as the Blakester. I am your manager of distributor success for InkwayUSA. Today, ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to a man. He's actually a pioneer in the identification of breakthrough technologies and products. He's combined this with the state-of-the-art sales techniques in the world of consumer direct network marketing. His plan is to utilize his experience in helping to make InkwayUSA a household name and a business of choice, thus creating value to our company, to our distributors, and to our shareholders. I want to introduce you the creator, inventor, and architect of InkwayUSA, Lenny the Inkman Greene.
All right. Thank you, Blakester. Welcome to the weekly Green Concepts AccuBright Bright InkwayUSA webinar. Welcome everyone around the world. I want to welcome people in the USA, Canada, Thailand, Norway, Germany, the UK, Australia, New Zealand, and any other place in the world that you are on this call or listening at YouTube. Welcome to everyone around the world. We're really excited about our InkwayUSA opportunity, and we're looking forward to our launch in 2015. And today we have a special webinar that I was talking to Dave Christ, and we had a 2-hour call last week, and we were discussing, Dave is one of our founders, so he's one of our InkwayUSA distributors, and Dave is looking to sign up 2 distributors in his group all around the USA, 2 people per state. So 50 states times 2, that's 100 distributors. And we were discussing in length how we would go about doing that. And so we found by the end of the call that we should have recorded the call. So we're going to record today's webinar. We're going to post it up on the InkwayUSA YouTube channel for all the distributors to listen to learn, and you can duplicate that for yourselves in your city, in your town, in your country. So I asked Dave at the end of the call, I said to Dave, we should have recorded that call, but I asked him if he would submit a list of questions that would get me to repeat to you all the questions and answers that we discussed in that call. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to have the Blakester interview me, and I am going to teach you guys how to teach others. So I'm going to train the trainer. You guys are the trainers. I'm going to train the trainer on how to bring in people into InkwayUSA once we have our official launch, and what you can do between now and then to get all of these people up and running. So with that, let's jump right into it today. Blakester, I'll turn it over to you. You'll ask me one question at a time. I think there was 7 questions, but one of them had about 4 bullet points. So there's probably about 11 or 12 that we broke down in our preparation meeting yesterday, and we're going to start with you, Blakester. Go ahead. What's the first question?
Okay, thank you, Lenny. And actually, if you don't mind, I'm actually going to read these backwards. I'm going to start from the bottom one first because number 1 actually has 4 different parts to it. So I have to pause in between each one of those parts, okay? So I'd like to start with number 7, or number 1 in this case, because I think that it's important for a lot of people, obviously, all these questions that we're going to cover. But first question is this, Lenny. When Inkway actually starts to make a big dent in the printer and ink and toner industry, we're curious, like, won't big printer companies find ways to compete with Inkway and then try to regain that market?
All right. Well, you know, my attitude to that question is the following, and this is what I believe. The universe is big enough for all of us. The industry is projected to grow to $127 billion by 2017. And that is huge. So there's room in those numbers for all of us. Now, if you take the big manufacturers, let's talk about HP. I mean, we would have to take a 25 to 30% dent of that market for HP to even be concerned with us. So I'm not worried about that. There's always going to be others that are jumping into the business. There's my dog is jumping up here. I guess she wants to be in the ink business. There's always going to be people, competition, that are going to want to jump into the action, and that's okay because I truly believe and live by the universe is big enough to handle all of us. So there's plenty of room for all the competition to come in. There's plenty of room for the big boys to compete with us. You know, we want to build this company to $1 billion company. There's room at InkwayUSA for us to conservatively create 300 millionaires from this ink and toner revolution, from the ink revolution. We are the alternative to the high-priced ink and toner that's being sold out there. Everyone's going to the superstores, getting ripped off, and an InkwayUSA distributor is the alternative. You will have your own replicated website with thousands of products. We actually have a lineup of 10,000 products that we're eventually going to turn all of them on your website. We'll probably start off with about 3,000 of them. I'd have to check and see how far they got, but we're not going to hold up our launch while we add more products. But we're going to cover every make and model of every printer out there when we launch. So that's my answer to that question, and let's move on from there.
Okay, thank you. The next question actually is more of a just kind of a statement in some words, but can you explain some of the sales strategies that you've used in the past that were instrumental in making your company so successful, and also will you be using those at Inkway?
Absolutely. Everything I do on a daily basis, everything I've done in the past has gotten me prepared and ready to lead this organization into a multi-million, billion-dollar company. And, you know, what we did in our computer maintenance business, and I was explaining this in our talk last week, that we had what I call the economical territorial formula. And basically, if you're selling into a business that's on the corner of, let's say, 29th Street in Manhattan, and you're in that office building, and you sign up the accounting firm, and you find out from them exactly what their toner and inkjet needs are, and you get a list from them of what they spent in the last 3 months, and then you ask them for the last 6 months. You get whatever information you can. Well, we can save them 50% by them buying it from InkwayUSA. So, you know, we were looking at some of these cartridges this week at the superstores that were coming in at around $40 per cartridge, and our option was like $18.99, half the price. And a lot of customers jumped on that. They were like, oh my God, half the price. So the economical territory formula is you get a customer in this building, and then you go to the, if you're in an accounting firm on the 5th floor, you go to the law firm right next door that share the same floor or one floor up, and you let them know that we're handling Kramer and Nelson on the 5th floor. We're saving them 50%. The next thing you're going to know is that you're going to have a law firm and an accounting firm under your belt that's buying from you. And then you go on to the next account within that building. So back when we were doing maintenance, we would have a technician going into that building every day. And so if we had one account on the 5th floor and that technician arrived at 9 a.m., well, he was done by 11 or 10:30. Let's say he was done by 11 a.m. Well, he still had from 11 to 5 to utilize that expense of him being there. So we would sign up all the different accounts, you know, in New York City, building by building by building. So if we had a technician on 34th Street that handled the Empire State Building on one corner and handled 20 or 30 accounts in that building, and then he went across the street on 5th Avenue and 34th Street to the next building, well, our economical territorial formula was to have our telemarketers and me close other deals on those 4 corners within walking distance of where that technician would be. So for us, it's the same thing. A distributor on that corner in Main Street America, once you get that first foothold and you get that first account, you can work on the next account and the next account and use that account as a reference and explain to them that you're saving all this money. So that is what I call the economical territorial formula. We're going to use it at InkwayUSA. one of the things we discussed was that as a distributor, if you're in this building and you have your pad or a little pocket recorder, or you do it on your iPhone or Droid phone, and you hit record while you're looking at the board in the lobby, and you mention Kramer and Nelson, and you mention Carroll and Williams, and all the accounts that AT&T, and all the accounts that are in that building, after we're launched and after there's positive cash flow at headquarters, we will have a telemarketing team that's sitting at desks that are part of the organization that are there to service the Inkway distributors. So right now, our tech support people are called customer success representatives, and we're here to handle your tech support. We're here to handle your shipping. We're here to make sure that your end user, your customer's happy. So anything that they buy from your replicated website will get delivered to their home or office. So when you're working on commercial accounts, you know, because we're going to talk in a little bit about all the types of people you could sell to, but if you're working on a law firm or an accounting firm or a regular business in your town, and they're in an office building, you'll be able to call in, you know, send an email with all those accounts, Kramer and Nelson, Williams and Carroll, AT&T, Western Electric, all those accounts that are in that building occupying that space, and our telemarketers will then call in. It could take several, you know, it could take 8 or 9 calls for you to get there, but we will call in and we will get the buyer's name. We will ask for what their spending is, and we will help you and assist you in closing that account. So that's something we've done in the past that's been very successful for us. In New York City, when I started the computer maintenance business from my garage, it grew to giant offices and over 1,000 technicians in 55 countries. In the beginning, it was me going into that office building, standing there with my little pocket recorder. At the time, this is years ago, there wasn't any iPhones, but there was a little pocket recorder, and I would read off the board all the accounts that were in there. I would come back to office, sit down, write down the name of each account with the address, look up the phone number, and actually start to call those accounts. After a while, we had 14 people in our telemarketing department doing all those calls for us, and then just handing off to me appointments with those buyers. That's what we're going to duplicate. That's what we're going to help you do with commercial accounts. All right, I'm ready for the next one.
Lenny, what advice do you have for some new distributors who might be having a difficult time refilling cartridges, both in the ease, the cleanliness, and the print quality after completing the refill process?
All right. Well, first off, there's several ways to make money in InkwayUSA. One of them is to take your InkwayUSA flagship product that has 5 bottles of ink, 5 refilling stations, a parts tool accessory kit, and a refilling workstation in the bottom. So one of the ways is for you to go to your neighbors, your community members, and let them know that you can refill for them at $10 a refill. They're spending anywhere from $25 to $40 for a cartridge right now at the superstores. So if they knew that you were able to come over to their home and in the front cover of your box refill for them, then they would be very happy to hear that. And once they hear that, you'll have a repeat customer. Because once you refill for them at $10, and let's say they have a tricolor color cartridge with yellow, cyan, and magenta in it, and they have a black cartridge, and you fill both of them for them for $20, you're all set. You know, they're going to call you every time they run out of ink. Basically, you will be able to refill for community members, friends, family, and save them a ton of money because they're all getting ripped off going to Office Max, Office Depot, Staples right now and buying those cartridges. So if you let them know that you can come and refill in the front cover of your box and it's only $10, then they will let you do that over and over again. Now, for commercial businesses like an accounting firm, you could start off by saying to them that you have your own refilling business. And you could, you know, I have a guy in Harrisonburg, Virginia, at James Madison University, who's got a couple of accounting firms, law firms, and other businesses in 3 different office buildings. And he goes down there on Monday morning, and the accounting firm, whenever they run out of cartridges, they put the cartridges in a box in the reception area. And Robert goes into this account. He takes the box. He goes into the conference room. In the front cover of his box, he refills all these cartridges for all the people that are at this firm. When he's done, he comes back. He hands in a bill slip, and if he has 10 cartridges refilled times $10, he gets a check for $100 when he walks out. Now, when he walks out, he doesn't leave. He goes up in the elevator to the law firm. So he starts at the accounting firm at 9. By 11:30, he's up at the law firm, and they know that Robert comes by every Monday. And he's got a route 3 days a week, and he's making about $4,000 a month. So that's a way for you to do this business in refilling. And the question was, if you're not comfortable with the ease of refilling, well, let me tell you, my nickname is the Ink Man, and it's like riding a bicycle. The first time you refill, it's like you got on that bicycle and you went out there and you might have fell down. The second time you refill, it gets a lot easier. The third time you refill, you get to really know it like the back of your hand. The fourth time you refill, it's just a breeze. You know exactly how to fill. And then you have the courage to go on to fill other makes and models that you haven't worked with yet. There we go. All right. So in refilling for yourself, that's one way for you to make money in the ink and toner refill business. And again, the business is forecasted to grow to $127 billion by 2017. 30 cartridges are purchased every second. And you could be part of that business by being an InkwayUSA distributor. Now, the second way for you to make money is with your replicated websites. You have a line of remanufactured inkjet cartridges for every inkjet printer on the market, and you have a line for remanufactured toner cartridges for every toner cartridge on the market. So if you go to a place and they say, well, we're not interested in refilling, we don't want you to come like Robert does at the law firm and at the accounting firm in Harrisonburg, Virginia. We just want to buy a cartridge. We want to take it out of the box. We want to pop it in our printer. Well, then fine. Your website, if Robert's website is robert.InkwayUSA.com, upon our launch, that buyer can go to his website and buy those cartridges at half the price of the superstores. So every product that goes off of your website gets delivered to the person's office or home, depending upon where they want it delivered and where they put the shipping address. And there is a commission that you get on every product that goes out the door. So there's a commissionable value on every toner cartridge, every inkjet cartridge, whether they buy accessories, laptop covers, whatever they buy from your website, there's a commissionable value that you get paid when someone buys it off your website. So the first way is to refill yourself. If you're not into doing that, no worries. There are a lot of people that still want to buy the cartridges off of your website, take the cartridge, toner cartridge or inkjet cartridge out of the box, pop it into their printer, and those people will come back to you every month or every 2 months when they run out of ink. So if someone's uncomfortable and they don't learn how to refill and you don't want to refill, well, this business, you don't have to just be a refiller. And there's customers out there that, they're saying in today's statistics that 3 out of 4 people today are do-it-yourselfers. So those people are going to purchase from you the InkwayUSA flagship product, the briefcase in a box. This box gives them $1,200 worth of inkjet refills, and they will learn and fill themselves if they're not already a refiller. A lot of the refillers that are out there, and that statistic last year was $12 billion. The refilling industry has topped $12 billion. So those people are going to buy this briefcase in a box from you, the InkwayUSA no mess refill system, and they're going to refill for themselves. So there's multiple ways for you to make money in this business. All right, I'm ready to move on to the next question.
Next question is in direct alignment with what you've been stating already, but for the average Inkway distributor, what should their target market be? Sales to individuals, small businesses, corporate businesses, government, nonprofits, churches, school. What should their target market be?
Every one of the areas you just mentioned. So nonprofit, profitable for businesses, friends, neighbors, family. Everybody has an inkjet printer and a toner printer, or one or the other. There's an average of 2 printers in every home in the USA. It is now like that throughout the world. So whatever country you're in, there you know already that there's inkjet printers in every home. There's toner printers in every home. So all of these people have to buy ink. They're already a customer. So the InkwayUSA distributor is not a distributor that's trying to get someone to buy makeup, or trying to get someone to buy vitamins, or trying to get them to switch their makeup or switch their vitamins. What you're offering them is an ink alternative, an ink and toner alternative. Do they want to save money and have the same quality of their documents? Do they want their documents to be sharp looking, crisp looking, and clear looking? So everybody's a customer. Everybody's already a customer. And they're going to Staples, Office Max, and Office Depot and buying that ink. Now, I want everybody to think of a number. I have most of you, almost all of you muted, so think of a number. What do you think it costs for a gallon of black ink that you're buying at Staples or Office Max? Think about a number for a moment. You know how we all get upset when gasoline goes to $4.30 a gallon or $4.50 a gallon? It's a lot lower right now, but recently here in California it was $4.25, $4.35 a gallon. Everybody was upset. So $4 for a gallon of gas. What do you think it is for a gallon of black ink? Just think of a number for a moment. I'm going to give you the answer. All right. Well, it's $6,000 for a gallon of black ink. $6,000. If you go to Costco and you buy a 3-pack of ink, so you get it discounted, what do you think you're paying for a gallon? You get it down to about $5,000 for a gallon of ink, a black ink. The colors are more expensive, so think about that. $6,000 for a gallon, and we get upset when gasoline is $4 a gallon. Well, we're the alternative at InkwayUSA. We get the way down. It's not even $1,000 for a gallon when you're refilling and using InkwayUSA inks. All right, so moving on, what's your next question? So everybody's a customer. 30 cartridges are purchased every second worldwide, and everybody's already buying these inkjet and toner cartridges.
Okay, Lenny, what are some of the key points that new distributors should be aware of as they encourage people to change their buying habits?
Okay, well, you know, we just kind of went over that already. The questions that you want to ask people, first of all, anybody you speak to that has an inkjet or toner printer, you start off by saying to them, you know, let me ask you a question. Are you sick and tired of spending too much money on your inkjet cartridges? Everybody you talk to is going to tell you, yes. You know, I tell my kids not to print. You know, I ask them to print in black only. It's just so expensive. And, you know, everybody knows that they're getting ripped off. So that's how you start the conversation. How would you like an alternative? How would you like clear, crisp copies of documents, beautiful, color-rich photos, and how would you like to save a ton of money? How would you like to spend half of what you're spending or less on your ink and toner needs? That's how you talk to people. You know, that's how you get people to try your website.
Now, if an Inkway distributor was only to do direct sales, how many customers would they need to have per month to make a net profit of $2,500?
So let's take $2,500 on the calculator. So you want to make $2,500 a month. So $2,500 a month, and let's just start off with, let's just say you're going to be doing this by refilling for others. Okay? So we'll divide that by $10 a refill. That's 250 refills a month. Divided by 4.3 weeks, that's 58 refills a week. And 58 refills a week. Okay, my calculator's, I told you, it's raining in California. It never rains here. 58 refills a week divided by a 5-day week is 11 refills a day. Now, that's 11 customers a day if you were filling one cartridge for them. But they all have a black, and they have either one tricolor, which has yellow, cyan, and magenta in it. And most people today have 4 cartridges. They have a black, a yellow, a cyan, and a magenta. So we'll just, for the sake of this talk, we'll average it out and just say they have 2 cartridges. There's 11 customers a day. You need 5 of those customers a day. So you need to refill for 5 customers a day, Monday through Friday, or bunch it all together on the weekend to make $2,500 a month, if you were charging them $10 per refill. That's just to give you an idea. That's without people buying reman cartridges from your website. So that's an additional amount of money that will come into your account when people are buying. Again, remember, there's a commissionable value on every product sold, and so you will be making money from the website also. And if you're refilling, that's how we kind of figured it up, of averaged it out of what you would need. All right.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, this last question that I have for you, like I mentioned earlier, is 4 different parts. So let's start off with, what do you think about the idea of recruiting those curious and becoming Inkway distributors and then taking them through these certain steps? The first step would be they would be given an overview of the products and opportunity through an autoresponder series of emails.
Okay, so what David and I talked about is David wants to sign up 2 distributors in every state across the USA. That's 100 distributors. He wants to set up autoresponder emails that train them on what to do. And there'll be a lot of my training videos that are up on YouTube already. You know, there's videos that we're going to continue to keep making and training videos, and that's another thing. We talked about the ease of refilling. We're going to start having refilling videos also, and the Blakester is going to be doing sales training videos, and we're going to be doing all kinds of videos, and Tor is going to be doing how to build a group videos. And so all of these things are going to be done. After a while, there'll be a video, a live webinar every day of the week on some other subject every single week. That when there's cash flow, we will hire the staff that's needed, and we will do what we need to support all of our InkwayUSA distributors. So yes, Dave's idea was to have these autoresponder emails. You know, so a distributor comes on, the distributor then gets an email on training, and gets a second one on training, and the third one, and then gets to watch a video somewhere along the way, maybe in the first or second, and then gets to watch another video so that they can train and they know how to speak to the buyer. We're testing this out live right now as we speak with one of Dave's distributors up in Poughkeepsie, New York. And this woman is going to local businesses. She's already submitted this week what their printers are, and then our office staff is going to come back and say, here's the options for that printer. If we do have empty refillables for the printer, we will give that as an option. If there's a reman at half the price, we're going to give that as an option. If they can refill themselves, we're going to mention that as an option. And, you know, we're going to come back and, you know, I know that's being prepared for Dave right now for these 3 printers, but we're putting a system in place so that distributors like Dave could get these answers on the fly an hour or less after they ask the question. So all these systems are being put in place at headquarters. We're reorganizing and getting ready for the launch so that we can assist and be customer success representatives to all of our distributors, both for tech support, for refill training, and for options, so that after a while, if you guys are trained and you know how to look up, you know, when you get a printer model, you then want to know what the cartridge model is. And the customers usually don't know. And, you know, if they're staring right at the dashboard of their printer, they can read the printer model off to you. If they pull out the cartridge and it's an inkjet, it's about this size, they can hold it in their hand and look and tell you what the model is. If it's a toner, it's this size, and they can look at the cartridge and tell you what the model is. But most customers don't want to do either of those things. They just want to tell you, I got an HP, or I have a Canon, or I have an Epson. And, you know, to help them, you need to know what the printer model is, what the cartridges are in that model, and that's what you need to drag out of that customer one way or another. If they can't tell you the cartridge number and they're not willing to or want to open the cover of the printer, then just get that printer model, and we have a cross-reference that we can tell what the cartridge is. So worst case, you get their printer model, what it says on the dashboard, and we go from there. So it's very exciting what Dave and I are creating for the whole organization. And Dave had thought that it would be great to record this and to have the whole organization put their input into this training. And when the training is official, it'll be up on YouTube, and the emails will be available to all distributors worldwide to build their organizations at InkwayUSA. So, what's that next bullet point?
That's great. That's good information there. What are your thoughts about people being offered training at the cost of purchasing a profit pool unit?
That is a great option also. You know, we do have an Inkway profit pool unit now where for $360 you get these 5 bottles of ink. These 5 bottles of ink, let's see if I can hold them all up. There's 4, and I could do it. Here's 5 bottles of ink. So you have 2 bottles of black at 120 milliliters. You have a bottle of yellow, cyan, and magenta. And for $360, you get these $1,200 worth of inkjet refills. And that's a great way, you know, we talked about the idea of while we're waiting for the launch, there's distributors that can get involved, buy an Inkway profit pool unit. They get these 5 bottles of ink that give them $1,200 worth of refills. And as a bonus, once we launch and once we sign up 6,000 distributors, which will happen very quickly, then they get paid back their money plus a profit. And the profit is 150% of your money. So you're putting in $360, you're getting $1,200 immediately mailed to you right now, you know, an hour later, gets shipped out to you. You have this ink, and you then could be refilling and make $1,200 with that ink. So you can bring in $1,200 of revenue, and then when we pay you back, we're going to pay you back out of our profit pool. So that's how that works. If you're already a founder, then we've added on some extra stuff for you. And if you're a founder, you're qualified. If you're a whole founder, you're qualified as an elite distributor for 24 months. This will extend your founder positions to 30 months. So if you're a founder and you buy one of these, you get that extension. If you're a newbie and you're in training, you will get this ink, and everybody will get paid back the $540. Okay.
And that's actually perfect. It leads into the next bullet point. By doing that, they're actually going to learn how to find ink solutions for customers as they connect directly with those customers.
Exactly, and we've talked about that a lot in detail. But to recap what we talked about, you find out, one of the things. Let's take this 120 ml bottle. One of the things we're going to do is we're going to have empty 20 milliliter bottles with a leak-proof cap that goes on it. So an empty bottle. So there's 120 mils in here. Okay, 20 into 120 is 6. So 6 of those 20 ml bottles, you'll be able to pour this into those 20 ml bottles, put the cap on, and then you'll be able to actually give out samples. You can say to your neighbor, what is your yellow cartridge? And let's say they say, I have an HP 564 yellow. And how much do you spend, on that cartridge, and where do you buy it? And they'll tell you, well, I go to the superstores. I go to Staples or Office Max, and I spend $29.99 on that cartridge. So you say to them, here's a 20 ml bottle. This is the 120 ml, but the 20 ml will be a smaller bottle. Here's a 120 ml bottle. Here's a refilling syringe. And here's a sheet on step-by-step instructions with pictures from our support website on how to refill that yellow the next time you run out. So that person, if they're willing, will be happy to take that gift from you, that 20 ml bottle, that filling syringe, the step-by-step instructions with pictures, and if they're willing, they will refill that HP 564 themselves next time. Once a customer does that, they're never going back to Staples again. they're ringing your doorbell or calling you on your cell phone and saying to you, hey, can I get a bottle of black? Can I get yellow, cyan, magenta? And that's when you introduce them to the flagship product, the InkwayUSA refill system. You explain to them that they get $1,200 worth of inkjet refills, and that is something that gets them involved in the business. They can either be a customer and keep refilling themselves, or they can become a distributor in your organization. So that is a great way to do that, and that's how that would work. So, you know, we're going to be launching in 2015. The question that came up was, what can you as distributors, in our pre-launch, we signed up 1,000 distributors that are all on hold. They're all waiting. You're waiting to blast off. Well, you could build your organization now through this training method by getting trainees involved in your town, in your city, in your country, in your village, wherever you are. There are people that would like to make an extra $500 a month, would like to make $2,500 a month. There's people that would like to do, that are out of work, that would like to do this full time and make $3,000 a month, $5,000 a month, $10,000 a month. And the industry, everybody's a customer. So no matter who you talk to, when I go to Staples for coffee, and actually I have a business meeting coming up at 1 today, I bring this with me, and the little handle, I walk in with it, a little briefcase in a box. You know, it's the size of an actual briefcase. And for those of you who don't have this already, that are watching this for the first time on YouTube or live today, I pop this down on the table, and people walk up to me while I'm sitting there in a meeting, and they say, "What, InkwayUSA, the no mess inkjet refill system?" It just blows up in their face. It's just it's beautiful, you know. Print more, print better. We're the ink revolution. They want to know about it, and I sit there and I just give out my card and tell them to come to a Saturday webinar and learn. And you know, it's exciting. I'm just excited about this business. I'm passionate about this business. I'm not happy that it's taken this long for our launch, but soon that'll all be behind us, and we'll all look back. We'll all be getting commission checks, and we will look back and forget the past and move forward and earn money. Okay, so that last question again, Blakester, repeat that question.
I was just more so your thoughts and viewpoints about us using the old system in order to sell Inkway products until we can actually get InkwayUSA launched.
All right, perfect. So our website right now is inkonline.net. So remember, it's .net, not .com. inkonline.net. inkonline.net. So that is our InkwayUSA platform right now, and any orders that you get on that website, we're reverse tracking that back and finding out who referred that customer. So you don't have to wait for the official launch. The inkonline.net site has about 1,100 ink and toner solutions on that website, and you can start selling right away. So inkonline.net, and you're ready to rock and roll. You're ready to bring sales in. The training that we discussed today, this will all be edited and put up on the YouTube channel, which is www.youtube.com/user/InkwayUSA. That is our official YouTube channel. There's a lot of training videos up there already. There's a lot of informational videos up there. Some are done professionally in a studio. Others are done on this weekly webinar that we've been having. And so, you know, spread the word. Let your people know to go to that YouTube channel and watch some of these videos. This training video will be up there today. You know, sometime over the weekend or by Monday it'll be up there, and then we'll go from there. So, Blakester, are there any other questions?
No, I don't have any other questions. That was all of them, Lenny, but fantastic job. I appreciate all the information and everything that you're doing.
All right, thank you, buddy. Now, let's see if I could turn on the chat for any Q&As today. Okay. As far as when the launch will be, well, we're raising money right now as we speak. to pay our programmers. Once we pay our programmers, 6 weeks later, we'll be able to launch. We're about 70% done with our platform. It's really coming out awesome. You're all going to be very happy with it. And we need to pay the programmers. We need to raise money to do that. We are selling these Inkway profit pool units. We've sold 7 of them up to now. If you're interested, send an email to Linda at greenconcepts.com. Let her know, and either Linda or me or Mrs. Inc. or one of the people in the office at headquarters will call you back to take your order. Again, you get 5 bottles of these 120 milliliter bottles of ink, which give you a $1,200 worth of inkjet refills. When you get paid back, you get money from the profit pool of $540. So you're putting in $360, you're getting out $540, but you're immediately getting a product worth $1,200 worth of refills. We need your help. We welcome anyone to buy these Inkway USA profit pool units. If you're already a founder, your founder position gets extended to 30 months, up from 24 months, and that's for all of your units. So if you have 1 unit, 2 units, 5 units, and you buy one of these Inkway pool units, profit pool units, you get extended to 30 months in qualifications. And what does that mean? It means that when we launch, you guys get paid 5 ways in the Synergy Compensation Plan. And it gets extended from 24 months if you're a whole founder to 30 months. If you're a half founder, you're qualified for a year, and it will get extended 6 months, so it'll qualify you for 18 months. And if you're a quarter founder, you're qualified for 6 months. This will extend you to a year. So a year, 18 months, and 30 months, whereas in the past it was 6 months, 1 year, and 24 months, 2 years. David Johnson says, thanks for keeping us up to date, Lenny. Do you have other business updates outside of Inkway USA? Well, you know, we closed the big box retailer. We're waiting to go, you know, big box retailers move as fast as a glacier moves. They move very slowly. So we did close one of the biggest big box retailers in the world. We are going to roll out our Ink Intelligence product line. Here's the color refill system and the black refill system. Just let me hold one up for a minute. And this is the Ink Intelligence Color Inkjet Refill Kit, and it's sold by the AccuBrite division. And it's, if you could look closely here, it says Ink Intelligence by Inkway USA. And the reason it says that is because 15% of the profits from our AccuBrite wholesale division goes into the elite profit sharing pool. The elite profit sharing pool will get split twice a year amongst all qualified elite distributors. So that's very exciting. We're moving forward with that. I would like to move yesterday, but we have to go move as the corporate company moves ahead. Once that's done and we're up on their .com site, I'll be able to put out a press release. I'll be able to mention their name to all of you. So that is very, very exciting. Also, this week, I applied to be on the Shark Tank. Whether they accept us or not, I don't know. But we applied to be on the Shark Tank because we do need investment money to blow this business up to be a billion-dollar business. It takes money, and we need funding. So we're raising money through the Inkway Profit Pool. We applied to be on the show, The Shark Tank, so we can raise money that way. I also applied to the show, the CNBC show, or CSNBC, The Profit, like profit and loss. And that's a show that has Marcus Lemonis. And I read that he's a billionaire and he invests in businesses like ours. And I applied to be on that show. So I'm looking for a funding source. It could be any group, any person, any place, anything. And we need this money to blow the business up. The foundation is in place. We just need more money to get to the next steps. So that's another thing that's happened just this week. And I keep taking my glasses off, and I can't read the chat box without it, so they're back on. All right. So thanks for keeping us updated. Do you have any business updates outside of Inkway USA? Okay. So those are two big updates right there. I don't think on Monday I'm going to start to make one-on-one calls to every founder we have out there. I think a lot of them just don't know about it. So I'm going to call them directly and let them know, what's going on. Give them an update of what's going on company-wide. Let them know about the Inkway Profit Pool one-on-one. It's going to take a while for me to get to all 1,000, but a step at a time is how it's going to go. Okay, the question is, can we sell Intelligence? Can we add this to the InkwayUSA, inkonline.net website? Inkonline.net, that's your website, so that you guys can start selling it. David, I had this on the site. I took it off. One of the things we want to do is we want the big box retailer to know that he can sell millions of these and we're not going to compete with him. If we start to sell this at inkonline.net and it's not at the same price as the big box retailer wants to sell it worldwide at, we're going to have a problem. We're going to hurt the account. We're going to lose the account. So yes, I do need the sales, and a lot of these guys will sell, but we don't have it there yet. We don't want to cross that bridge now that we got the big box retailer. We don't want to mess the waters there. We also rolled out to a catalog company, and I'm trying to get from them the exact date that will be live in their catalog. And I'll let you know when we're live in that catalog and the name of that catalog. Once their legal department approves our press release, we'll put it out to the public. I'll let you know who they are. But we did ship a shipment at the beginning of this month. Just 10 days ago, it arrived at the catalog company. Okay, next. And of course, if we are on Shark Tank, we will let you know when, where, and how. And the same thing with the show, The Profit. Okay, Maxwell says, I watch the Shark Tank and the Profits daily. How does this affect the founders and other obligations? It won't affect anything. Any commitments the company has, the company keeps. If these sharks come in and they give us funding, that's going to be a deal that they have to make with me, and I'm going to have to give up a piece of me, not a piece of you. Any deal I've made with you or any shareholder, any investor, stays. Otherwise, I don't do a deal with them. So if they came in and said, get rid of the founders, well, then I couldn't do a deal with them because I keep my word. And any deal they make will be a piece of me, not a piece of you. All right. We still have an alliance and partnership with Hemp Incorporated, and it's in its early infancy stage, and more will be revealed to you when I get through some of the steps that have to happen. It's funny that you asked, because in rewriting my call list last night and rewriting my to-do list, that's also one of the calls for next week is to Bruce Perlowin, the CEO of Hemp Incorporated. Okay, David wanted to know about my health. Am I back to 100%? I am at 110%. I'm all better. The pneumonia is gone. It's a bummer that it happened. We don't know how it happened. It happened. It went from good to bad to the worst for a while, so I was hospitalized. But I am back in action 110% of the time now. I'm excited, I'm passionate, and I'm taking us to the next step. Tor's commenting that let's focus on selling the flagship product at the regular price. Do not dump it on eBay or Amazon.com. Let's keep our price the way it is, and let's be successful together. We've come this far. We've climbed the mountain together. We're at the very top. Once we roll over the top of the mountain, it will be cash flow city for all of us. Intelligence has been a trademark name of ours since 2002. What I do is I buy up these names, I trademark them, I copyright them, and I have a lot of different names on the shelf for future products that I've invented. So in 2002 is when I came up with Intelligence, and it's with 2 L's, and so it is copyrighted here, it is trademarked, and it is ours. And it would be good if you could send me an email showing me this other company so I can look into it. If you could send that email to linda@greenconcepts.com and just send us the link or the name of the company that you're talking about, and I will, and that's for Meza, I will look into it further and report back. Thank you for that. Are any of the programmers distributors and founders? No, they're not. Programmers don't want, they want, we don't even want them to be part of the business. I've even offered it to them as payment, but they're explaining to me that they need to keep it separate, and they don't let our inside information out to anyone else. They're not on the inside. They're there to do the job and to do the job right. So it made a lot of sense to me when it was explained to me by the manager of the programmers, because we would like them to take a piece, take a little piece of the action and get us to launch, but they want money. That's what they want. Okay. So basically, we need to raise money. We need to get a payment of around $45,000 to the programming team, and we launch 8 weeks later, 6 to 8 weeks later, probably 5 weeks later. All right, we're at the top of the hour, a little bit over. I want to thank all of you. I got to tell you, every night, I count my blessings, and I count each of you 2 times when I count my blessings. So I am grateful to all of you. I wish you all health, success, and prosperity. Lenny the Inkman Greene, over and out from Fresno, California. I will see you next week. Take care, guys. Bye-bye.